So we have one visual world that we perceive, but we've got two channels, and so our brain has learnt how to integrate those two bits of information together to create this single perception of the world. And there are times where someone's ability to maintain two eyes looking in the same place in space can be impacted on something congenital, or a lot of the cases we're dealing with after an injury, a brain injury of some sort, where a muscle movement gets restricted, either through the nerve damage or the muscle itself being damaged, in which case that might be that they have single vision looking straight ahead, but as soon as they look to the side, they start to get double vision or looking up, or you get some very different and sort of fascinating restrictions in eye movements from brain injury. And we see it from anything from a traumatic brain injury to post-surgical kind of things. And you might have someone who's got full movement on one eye, but the other eye can't move up and down. So it creates diplopia or double vision in different environments. And one of the classic ways of managing diplopia in someone who's had a brain injury is to simply just patch the whole eye. And in some cases, some people's double vision is temporary. So that's, maybe a satisfactory thing if they recover within a few days or a few weeks, and you're able to take away and they go back to their regular single view of the world. But for someone who's got more long-term double vision, particularly if it's in one field, you're sort of blocking this entire field of one eye when you could be more selectively occluding part of it. So we might find that if you're, moving your eyes out to one side and you're starting to get double vision, we might simply just block the view of one eye on that side. So you've still got the peripheral vision out here, but you've blocked the central double vision part. And so they're able to learn how to just simply switch and get used to having that occlusion there. And because it's so close, the relief that you get from not having double vision in that field anymore can be quite remarkable, actually, because your visual system's designed for moving through the environment. You get some people where they might get double vision when they look down, as an example. And if you can sort of block out one eye in the lower field, they've no longer got double vision. They can be a lot more sure of themselves when they're walking around. And that's obviously pretty important, as we're discussing with elderly parents and falls.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very important consideration, but it's also freedom too. That they're not restricted. They're not having to have someone hold their hand everywhere. So
Right.
it can be quite life changing, but it is one of those things that you bring on your skills and experience to basically, you work with the patient to explore what things you can be doing for their specific presentation, because everyone presents very differently with
Mm.
double vision diplopia. Again,
Mm.
particularly when we're talking about muscle restrictions from
Mm.
accidents, injuries, disease,
Mm.
and things.
So if I understand this correctly, so you're actually like adjusting parts of the lenses to occlude or to block out vision. So it's not like it's not a whole lens, or it's just a section of a lens. Is that right?
Yeah. So the idea is that you're just doing a section of it. So to
Yeah.
avoid blocking that whole field unnecessarily, you might block just a part of it and we start with using frosted tape. It's really low
Okay.
tech stuff,
Okay.
and find the portion that what we're really looking for is trying to give us the biggest visual field.
Mm.
Um, you know, i.e., use what's the smallest amount of occlusion that maintains the biggest field, and tries to drop the double vision as much as possible.
Mm. So, like, are there any maybe like less obvious ways to to do that occlusion with a lens? Like, if you're walking around everywhere with some tape on your lenses, and it might
Yeah,
be
look, and
quite
sometimes
obvious.
yeah. Look, sometimes it's a matter of moving the tape to the back of the lens, and that might be a situation where we don't use an anti-reflection coating in the lens, so the white reflections off the front of the lens tend to hide the occlusion. If it's really bothersome, we can use a more expensive kind of specific foil or filter that degrades the image, allows light through, but degrades the image enough that the brain can suppress that second image and
Mm.
ignore it. To be honest, a lot of the people that we're using this on, the relief they get from being able to have more freedom, visual freedom, they don't care what it looks like,
Mm.
because they're at a situation where they've been battling,
Yeah.
some significant changes in their lifestyle. So they're quite happy to have the film there.